Hello children, I welcome you all once again to your English class. I hope you all are keeping well, and for today's English lesson, we are going to continue with the pronouns chapter from your Mastering Grammar book. Children, in our previous video lesson, we had already learned about what pronoun is. We had also learned about different kinds of pronouns, at least you know the names, and I had finished A and B exercises, after which I told you that we will be continuing with the possessive pronouns. Now with this, let me recall what we had learned. We had learned about personal pronouns, that they are used for persons and for things, right? Now pronouns like I, we, us, they, them, their, it, she, he, they, me, myself, itself, themselves, all these words which were representing person or telling us about the person, means it was used for the person or thing. Those were known as personal pronouns. I told you that they are of two kinds, like subjective pronouns and objective personal pronouns. I had already discussed this with you. So now let's move ahead with possessive pronouns. Children, by the name itself you can understand, because I have already taught you adjectives. By the name itself you can understand that we are going to talk about possession, right? We are going to talk about the ownership. Like if I am using two nouns side by side, one has to be replaced. The antecedent can be anything, right? I told you about antecedents as well. So possessive pronouns are those which show possession or ownership. Example, the book line there is mine. It's showing the possession. The book line there is mine. The word mine, okay, is a possessive pronoun showing possession. It belongs to me. And those on the table are hers. See children, when this word her was used, it was also used for personal pronoun, right? We had learned about it and we had seen that S was not used in that. But here in this case, when you are using possessive pronoun, we are going to add S to this position. And it is always used as what? Objective pronoun, right? So they indicate possession. Now possessive pronouns are mine, ours, yours, his, hers and theirs. From the box, if you remember the possessive form, it was written right here in that box in your previous page. So you can just go there and recheck. Possessive pronouns are mine, ours, yours, his, hers and theirs. So these dresses are hers, right? Like that. The following table shows the different form of possessive pronouns. Like in first, singular mine, plural ours. It's showing this is our, this book is, these books are ours, right? Second, yours and yours, you remain same there also for personal pronoun, and yours will also remain same for singular as well as plural. Now third, his doesn't become his's because last word is already S, but her word becomes hers, okay, for the possession, and in plural that will become theirs. Now let's see. So quickly we are followed by an exercise right after we have finished this possessive pronouns. Now look at C exercise. I am, right? With I you have to use am. Am can only be used with I. So you cannot place any other pronoun here. I am worried about your health. Yes. Children, see this word your is again here, but here in this case, this is not a pronoun. This is an adjective and that is possessive adjective. Now this was one. Number two now. Dash wanted to talk. She wanted to talk. You can also use here. She wanted to talk to him. You can use anything here, any object, personal objective pronoun. Objective pronoun you can use. So here you can see here. Him you have used here. About it or that. About it. Yes, number 3 now. That book of yours has become very popular. Very popular. Number 4. I bought my dress from nearby store and she bought dash from elsewhere. So it's showing the possession of the dress. So it is going to be hers, right? She bought hers from elsewhere. So I bought my dress from the nearby store. And she bought hers from elsewhere. Yes, so hers is underlined. Now number 5. The house is not dash but dash. So the house is not his. The house is not his. You can also write her here, but hers. Yes, so the showing the possession hers. Now we have 6, 7 and 8. My pet dog is very active. For this neuter gender dogs, animals are usually taken as neuter gender. So dash can run around for hours. Now number 6. My pet dog is very active. It can run around for hours. Yes. Demonstrative pronouns now. Children, we are moving to okay, 7 and 8, we are remaining with it, so let's finish that one first. Number 7. Dash got our prizes. We got our prizes. Because it's our, so we got our prizes for winning the competition from the chairman of the organization. Okay, number 8 now. Her music performance made her forget everything else. Her music performance made her forget yes children. So see here, now we will move ahead with demonstrative pronouns. Demonstrative pronouns are words that indicates noun in a sentence. That means it will be pointing. Like, see here, this is the pen I was looking for. Okay, so here we are pointing. So this, and that is the watch I bought yesterday. So in singular this, and you should remember how it is different from an adjective. Children, see, it is not followed by a noun. So I am not saying this book. Here this is itself is standing for a noun. Okay, it is replacing a noun. So this is the pen I was looking for. So here we can see children that this is not acting as an adjective. Instead it is acting as what? It is acting as pronoun. That is the watch I bought. So that becomes those, or are all demonstrative adjectives when they qualify the nouns in the sentence. So see, this book, this pen, those apples, that basket. I told you just now only that these words are also used as pronouns and are also used as adjectives. Use of demonstrative pronouns for what? To point out to people or things they stand out for. This is my watch. To separate a category, those are not mine. Okay, those things are not mine. And when a statement or solution is referred to, this is what I said. Right? So now moving to interrogative pronouns. The pronouns which will be asking questions. Okay, the pronouns which will be asking questions, the words which will replace the nouns of asking questions. Like see, who is at the door? So this person Ram is at the door if I am answering. So Ram is being replaced by the word who. Okay. Whom are you waiting for? These are all pronouns. The following are the interrogative pronouns. Who, whom, whose, what, which. So let me write the words for you because we are doing the interrogative pronouns now. Now which words are used? Who, whom, what, which, whose. Yes. Use of interrogative pronouns. Let us see for what we can use interrogative pronouns. Who is used as a subject and object of a verb or preposition. So like see, subject, for subject we can use who, and for object we are going to use whom. So who are you talking to? Who is the subject here? Now to whom did you give the packet? Whom means if I gave the packet to him. Him and who are being interchanged there. So object of verb and preposition. Whose is used to indicate possession. Now you know this, that whose is always used for possession. In adjective also we had used to tell about the possession of the noun, like whose duster is this, whose pen is this, for adjective. But like we are asking who hasn't arrived, Ram hasn't arrived, right? Or Rohan hasn't arrived. So which is used for both persons or thing. When the person who will answer has to make a choice among different possibilities, right? Like which of these is the road to your house? What is used for a thing? What is it that you have in your hand? Okay. Now let's see. Whose and which are also used as interrogative adjectives when they qualify nouns. Whose book, which pen are interrogative adjectives. They are not used. Like when they are qualifying nouns, you should understand that those are adjectives and not pronouns. Okay. Now let's move ahead with D exercise. This is on page number 34. Dash is that in your hand. Okay. What? Number 1 is what is in your hand. Dash is my new watch. This is. Number 2. Actually it's answer. Number 2 now. Dash won that match between India and Sri Lanka. Who? Who won the match? So answer. That was won by India. Dash are those books lying here. Whose are those books? I am asking about the person or the whose book is that? Dash is a better book. Dash are Reena's book. So here children, books is plural. That's why we are going to use those. Yes. Now number 4. Dash is a better book for children among these two. Which is, because question word, interrogative, which is the better book? Answer. This is a good book. Number 5. Dash is the new bicycle. Whose is the new bicycle? Okay. Answer. That is Ram's. Yes, these were the questions in this part. Now we can move ahead with reflexive pronouns. Okay, let us move ahead with reflexive pronouns. What are these? Reflexive pronouns are those which reflect upon or go back to the subject. Okay. So like I am talking about the same subject. I am going back to the same subject. Like. Okay. Let's see some example. He hurt himself. Okay. Accidentally. He hurt himself accidentally, right? So, with this, wait, let me write this word here because it's not visible. Accidentally. So, you see this word, this is again talking about the same person. He and himself, about the same people, same person. So, he hurt himself accidentally. Now, let's see here. I hurt myself. When subject or object of the verb is the same person or thing, we can use a reflexive pronoun. For first person, I and we can use myself or ourselves. Like, I am going there myself. Okay. Now again, you yourself need to understand this. You yourself, same person, same thing. He himself did it. She is herself going to buy the dress. Okay. It is understood in itself. Now themselves, ourselves, yourselves, these are the plural for our reflexive nouns. Okay children, now we can see the use of reflexive pronouns. When the subject or object of the verb is the same person or thing, I told you this, I hurt myself. I and myself are the same people, is the same people, same person. So for emphasis, when you want to put stress, like I did it, okay, it is me only. So I did it myself. Yes, I made the big myself. So I and myself are the two pronouns. One is personal and other one is what? Reflexive. used after verbs with preposition to clarify which person or thing we are talking to. She is very happy. She is happy with this preposition. So with herself. This herself is going to be what? This is going to be a reflexive pronoun, right? Now let's see. Not used where people normally perform actions on themselves like washing, combing or dressing. When you are acting upon yourself, then you do not use it. Okay, combing or dressing, which is part of the normal routine. We don't use it for normal routine. We are not. If you are doing anything new, then only you are going to stress that you did it yourself. But if it's your normal routine, like I bathe myself, okay, you can use it there. Because I bathe myself, if you are using that, that is your routine. You are already doing yourself only. Everyone washes themselves clean. No one is helped by someone. Like I cannot go to the shower and someone else would wash me on. No, right? So it's regular routine. So for that, for routine purpose related work, we do not use reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns are used when someone does something or he or she is not expected to do. So you are not expected to do it, but still you did it. That's the new case. Then you are going to use the reflexive pronoun. Okay, children? Now let's move ahead with the example. Though she is blind, she cooks food for herself. Yes, she is blind, still she cooks for herself. Because that is the exception. No blind person would do it for herself or himself, right? Now let's move to emphatic pronouns. These are reflexive pronouns which are used for emphasis. Now when you are putting emphasis on something, you are stressing upon it. Like see, you will see that in reflexive pronoun there is a verb, then we can use the reflexive pronoun. But here in emphatic pronouns we are going to use the personal pronoun as well as the emphatic pronoun simultaneously, okay, just consecutively. Like I myself cooked the meal, okay. So you are saying I myself did it. You want to stress that yes, this is a new thing, I did it myself. The forms of emphatic pronouns are same as that of reflexive pronouns. So all those words are common. Like you had read in this box, ourself, himself, this thing. This is very common here as well, okay. Now you can see use of emphatic pronouns. They are used for emphasizing the nouns. This means that even if they are left out, the sentence would still make sense. So you should not think that without emphatic pronouns, sentence will be incomplete. You can skip that. Like if I would have told, I cooked the meal, it is the same sense that yes, I cooked it. But when I want to stress, I am adding extra information because I was not supposed to do it, but I did it. So that's why I am stressing that yes, I cooked the meal, right? Now let's move to the exercise that follows, exercise E. Okay, we are going to circle the reflexive and emphatic pronouns and identify them. Now you will have to identify because the words are same, so you will have to understand yourself whether the word like himself, herself, itself is reflexive or emphatic. Number 1, E number 1. So this pen is not working. Okay, even now E number 1. First one is already done for us. Father cut himself while shaving. So this is reflexive. Okay, I went there myself. Okay, it is not putting any stress. So here myself will be for the second one. Myself will be what? Reflexive. Please circle this word myself. Yes, number 3 now. You yourself. See, I told you they are used along each other. You yourself. Both of the personal pronoun and the emphatic pronoun is coming together. So yourself here is the pronoun. And which kind of pronoun is that? Emphatic. Yes, number 4. Mary saw herself in the mirror. Okay. saw herself in the mirror. So here herself is going to be circled. Circle this one, and then you are going to write reflexive because it's not emphasizing. Number 5. I made the project myself. So again reflexive. Number 6 now. Please help yourself with the food. So here yourselves, and it's again reflexive. Number 7. The children are grown up now and can look after themselves. Themselves here is again reflexive, children. The cat licked itself clean. So see again the cat itself. Okay. So itself is emphatic. Here we have this. There can be certain confusion, children. It can also be reflexive. Okay. So this can also be reflexive. So if that's not visible, let me write this here, reflexive. Okay. So children, yes, here are our 2 exercise D and E. Now we can move ahead with relative pronouns. Yes. Relative pronouns are pronouns used to join a phrase or clause with another in a sentence. Okay children, so let's see. The boy who won the competition is my best friend. So see the boy, and now is my best friend. So I have used the word who to join it, right? So this word who along with whom, whose, which, that are relative pronouns. Sometimes as is also used as relative pronoun. Use of relative pronouns. Who and whom are used for persons only. You should remember this, that we are not going to use who and whom with things or inanimate objects. Okay. These have the same form wherever they refer to a singular or plural noun or any noun of masculine, feminine or common gender. The man who is wearing a pink shirt is my teacher. Okay, so these relative pronouns are used irrespective of the number and gender. Okay, so the man also for man also you can use who. For ladies also you can use who. For man was singular, still we used who, and ladies was plural, still we used who. So doesn't matter for these relative pronouns. Doesn't matter whether the gender or noun is singular, plural or masculine or feminine. The boy blessed by the blind man whom he had helped cross the road. The little girl was guided by the teacher whom she truly admired. Okay. When we use the relative pronoun whom, we have to be really careful. Okay. You cannot use whom everywhere. So you have to be very careful. The girl who appreciated the dancers were friendly. The relative pronoun is used as a subject. Yes, see here the girls who. That's why we are using, when we are using for subject, we are going to use who. But when we are going to use it as an object, the noun is in the object, then we are going to use what? We are going to use, yes, we are going to use who. The people appreciated the dancers whom they had met after the show. Whose is used for both persons and things. I told you who and whom can be used only for persons. Whose can be used for both person and thing. The chair whose color is blue is mine. The teacher called the students whose average marks were low. Yes, So students, chair was a thing. For that also we could use whose. And for students also who are living organisms, they are also joined with this one. For their reference also we are using whom. The pen whose nib is broken cannot be used now. So pen is again non-living thing, okay, inanimate object. Which is used for things and animals. Yes, you should know that we are not going to use who or whose for animals, but which can be used for animals. Whenever you are joining or whenever the subject is an animal, then you are going to use which, okay. The book is a thing, which I gave is lost. The deer which was killed was carried to the village. So animal, the deer is an animal, that's why we have used which. Use of that now. That is used after both things and persons. The word watch that I got last year is not working now. Okay. Now he is the boy that I was talking about. So that boy is a person. So I told you it can be used. This word that can be used for both person and thing. Now sometimes we use that after the words all, only, nothing and none. Examples. Nothing that he said convinced the judge about his innocence. All that she spoke was relevant to the topic. If a sentence has two nouns, one referred to a pronoun and the other a thing, we should preferably use that. So what are they saying? That when there are two nouns in a sentence, one is a person, other is thing. So in that case, we are going to use what? We are going to use that. THAT. The relative pronoun that is used after adjectives in the superlative degree. So let's see. Like he is the fastest runner. I have used this as superlative. That we have ever seen. So see, they are joined with this word that. She is the most intelligent student. Superlative degree, it will be joined with another phrase or sentence with the use or clause with the use of that I have ever seen. The relative pronoun what is always used to refer to things. Its antecedent is not expressed. If you do not know the antecedent, I already told you what is an antecedent. If you know that the antecedent is not there, you are going to do what? You are going to use what? Okay? Like sometimes what cannot be expressed in words must be understood. What is there? Sometimes she had purchased what she wanted to buy. So we do not know the name of the thing that she wanted to buy, but we know she wanted to buy something. So the thing is represented by what. Now examples. Sometimes what, okay, we have done this one. Now 6. The word as is also used occasionally as a relative pronoun when it comes after the word same. Okay, as, same as, or sometimes after the word such, like such as. She is such a friend as is needed in troubled times. Now her argument is the same as yours. Same, such. After these words we can use what? We can use, yes, as. Now children, with this we have finished knowing about the different kinds of nouns. Okay. After this we are left with, I think 3. Yes, 3. We are left with 3 more pronouns. Distributive, reciprocal and indefinite. But before that also we need to learn a lot of things about relative pronouns. We will be doing that in our next video lesson. Thank you for watching this video children. I hope you had a great session today. And on this note, I wish you a great day ahead. Bye-bye.